Welcome everyone to a quick Computex update here. 2024 keynote was the other day, and I wanted to quickly point out one thing, basically summarizing all these hours of talk and stuff. Not that interesting anyway. Basically, NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, Qualcomm and so on presented the latest flagship product, certainly NVIDIA AI overkill data center and stuff. But even Intel, AMD, Qualcomm all have now desktop faster NPU and stuff, right? Neural processing units. And I want to point one thing out, the elephant in the room, which few people talk about, is also silicon, especially in the case of AMD and Intel, for world's most powerful NPU for Copilot, right? Previous video, security nightmare and stuff. Copilot plus PCs. And many people in media, yay, amazing and whatnot, the future is AI, I'm a little bit skeptical. And with whether that is even amazing and helpful and stuff. And the big problem with this, there are two main problems that we should be careful with. The first problem is all those silicon die area used for AI acceleration is area that is not used for general purpose computing, right? So I would argue these days, and that certainly you could always argue, yeah, the first step, and in 10 years it's amazing, okay, fine. Because honestly, this AI stuff for PC, personal computing stuff and Windows and stuff will probably be mostly unused, right? Like this is like even on a Macintosh, right? Who is talking all day with Siri and stuff? Who is talking all day with buggy Microsoft Windows Copilot plus PC, plus who would want all their live video recorded and so on. So because it's probably mostly not used, and like even if it would be the most used and whatnot, but let's be realistic, at least in this generation, maybe 4 years to come, it will be barely used. So this die area, significant die area, goes mostly unused, right? You have this in your CPU. You know how CPU looks. You have this in your CPU, and it's wasted space that this general purpose, like you do email, you do gaming, you do 3D rendering, you do video editing, right? You have nothing from that, right? That is, in my opinion, a pretty big problem, right? This is why we don't even see the biggest improvements, right? So probably I will make a dedicated video about AMD Zen 5, but most things we probably already know. And that thing, at most, maybe some 20% generational IPC, or like maybe 18 or whatnot, IPC plus buffer and cache and whatnot. From Zen 3 to Zen 4 on Ryzen desktop, it was in total like maybe 40%, I think I guesstimated, and I think that was pretty spot on. Now AMD says something like 20% or so, generational IPC plus minus whatnot. It's not that much, right? Because of course it's the same AM5. Previously we had the change from DDR4 to DDR5 and stuff, even that gave you latency and bandwidth and stuff. So that is why previously AM4, AM5, Zen 3 to Zen 4, in total 40% for the same price SKU and stuff. Now like maybe 20 or whatnot, plus minus whatnot. Of course, Epic, more cores and stuff. So, but for laptops, allegedly most powerful NPU. So yeah, keep this in mind. Mostly unused space. I would prefer as much as for example, I would rather prefer, like what would be my solution? First of all, the companies try to get into the bandwagon and jump onto the AI hype train, right? Not for the users. It's only for the shareholders to sell more colorful new stuff, unfortunately. Leave in the comments below. I think this will be not much use. My solution would be rather put those resources into GPU and do NPU processing with GPU. Yes, performance, whatnot, but the benefit of that is you could use it for more general purpose graphic gaming, video processing and stuff, right? You see this here, I have here like NVIDIA, yes, latest and greatest, also big iron here, look at this, it's like, yeah, big stuff. AMD, the usual stuff, right? Just here, some everyone AI appliances, AI, more AI, performance. Everyone is a performance leader in the fastest NPU AI, of course. The biggest problem, which we should even be more careful with, so that's the first, right? Huge die area, I mean huge as in die area, 3 nanometer, 4 nanometer, die area wasted, that could be CPU cores or GPU. The bigger problem is, the much bigger problem is, and that we really urgently need to speak about and tackle is, where will AI leave open source, especially with drivers, right? AI could be that feature that is the next DES threat, the next open source killer, when all those Intel, AMD, Snapdragon and certainly NVIDIA drivers are not fully open source, right? That could be the next similar. Right now I envision, and that's also like all of those things are not compatible, right? It's not like one x86 standard, one ARM standard, one RISC-V standard. They are all proprietary additional CPU processor things. Where is even my, I always had here this illustration purpose, here. Illustration purposes only, that who does not have a that Intel, oops, 486 on there, right? And so this could leave us in a situation that the Linux adoption was hampered with for the first decade, kind of sorter, and even the second, with non-working, either no driver, not good driver, constantly incompatible drivers. Think all the X versus Wayland versus other thing and NVIDIA, like when we had the binary only driver and stuff, and binary only drivers, right? Really, really, really dangerous, especially on Snapdragon, because I have so many people who pinged me already on YouTube and Discord and Twitch and Instagram stuff like, but what, René, what do you think about Snapdragon? Yeah, be careful, right? Like first, be careful because proprietary drivers, who will write the drivers for you? It's not like you have Team Asahi Linux, and sure, there will be some drivers, there might be some drivers, whatnot, whatever the status, but like the more exotic, whatnot, ARM and NPU stuff, show me the drivers, right? Don't buy first generation new fancy stuff if you want to run Linux as open source. So that's what I wanted to stress here, right? Like Defense Explore, what you think, we need to make sure, basically, we need to make sure that the AI is not leading, the AI advancements and hype train and hype of AI is not leaving open source behind, because it is currently a little bit looking like that. And even AMD, I think they initially didn't have open source AI drivers, and I think they even asked the community, right? AMD open source, they even had like some community thing where it's like acquire open source AI software, expert mod AI. I think they asked somewhere, hey, open source community, do you want AI stuff, right? I saw this somewhere, wherever. It's like AMD response to buggy AI software complaints, releases, yeah, buggy AI stuff, who would have thought? So yeah, don't just fall for all the hype train. Leave in the comments below, how hyped are you about AI? Do you use it? How well does it work? Where do you see the future? Also, currently that's not really AI, it's, as many experts say, some compressed, fuzzy, data-based text and extraction and interpolation stuff, right? It's not like we have here some positronic data brain yet. And open source drivers, right? Like if we want, like open source is already difficult enough to get a food and desktop Linux and stuff, and that might be the next killer application. Just probably also should make a dedicated video about all the, especially Apple, a little bit Microsoft, not really, but Android, mostly Apple integration, right? With all the handoff between mobile, iPad, OS. Like where is the open source except Android, but more open source than Google's Android thing? Where is true community open source phone software, right? Tablet software. And then previous video, I'm already not the most impressed with the state of KDE and GNOME desktop. And then where is the open source integration as the desktop, mobile, and then AI, right? The next thing. And with, sure, we have 24 of desktop environments, GNOME, KDE, GNUstep, XFCE, Mate, and all the others, and Cosmic, Rising, desktop and stuff. And then AI, right? And where's our speech recognition? Where's our AI model, our intelligent search stuff like Assistant? Certainly something, maybe even to start a startup business with. I mean, certainly there are some things, right? My question is like the good killer things. And if we are not careful, that is the next vendor lockout of open source driver ecosystem and software. Anyway, just my two quick 2 cents here. Let's see what we have in the comments. Off topic, installed T2 today, super fast. Nice that you get their scripting definitely cleaner than most distros I've seen. Happy to hear that. I just today also committed our test suite T2, right? For those who are new to this stuff, we run a Linux distribution. And I committed the test suite that we developed the last months, and I just uploaded on our main YouTube channel actually a test suite speedrun of installing T2 Linux in just 50 seconds. Like testing and more testing. Certainly next, AI for T2 Linux, right? The times where we thought computers are new God and know everything, AI could follow the same path. What we need is, and I should also point out, I thought after the last video, the problem is maybe I should prepare more and script more. Sometimes it's also other comments which give me a hint, because also actually computers were good at deterministically doing things, recurring things like automating recurring tasks programmatically, and like usually, I mean, only not with random errors, like with, sure, there might be bugs, but like it does its stuff automatically reliable, right? AI is taking this, right? Like basically AI, sure, it might give you some fuzzy answers, but like that's not what computers are good at, right? General purpose programming, deterministically, programmatically doing repetitive tasks. And also I should actually, in this, I shouted this out just on Twitch actually, but I posted that the other day in our Discord that scrolled by Twitter, right? I said this before, dangers of AI and what humans should be left to do. There, Joanna Marciejewska, I want AI to do my laundry and dishes so that I can do art and writing, right? Like previous video, people's like, yeah, AI does all the stuff, like, and then what is left for humans? Like, do farm crops or what? And like Matrix, like, keeps AI alive. I totally agree. And that's basically what I basically said. I want AI to automate the boring stuff so that for all humankind to enjoy and their life, right? And so on. So that's certainly something that many forget, right? Even including NVIDIA, like AI will do everything. It's like, yeah, what is everything? We need computers and robots to take over the boring things to feed humankind, and not like humankind to feed AI, right? Power tends to corrupt. Power corrupt. John stuff. Burn Act 13 stuff. Drivers. AI will drive for you. Yeah, AI will drive us. They now call releasing binaries weights open source. LOL. Yeah. I mean, I'm also talking drivers. I'm not talking about open source AI models. I'm talking about having kernel drivers, preferably open source, obviously, looking at you, NVIDIA, so that we can make sure it works today on any Linux and it works tomorrow, right? Because what these companies like to do is dropping support, right? Like nice AI hardware you had there. Sorry, we can't give you Windows 12 driver or Linux 15 driver, right? Because they're not supported anymore. Thanks to tool, very powerful in the application that possible robotics and automation. Don't believe some sort of singularity or sci-fi stuff. I mean, this stuff will become more intelligent the more compute power we throw at it, for sure. AI is definitely not computing, it just happens to use compute as a substrate. Yeah, and currently AI is also not yet intelligent, right? Like we are not on Star Trek Next Generation data level AI. We are at answering you a fuzzy answer with some compressed database stuff, right? By the way, there were comments below the previous video where I questioned the usability and stuff of Microsoft's Copilot plus PC stuff. And someone answered there, someone commented below the previous video that they read somewhere, or this company said they already trained the AI on all of the internet data. And I would argue with that is wrong. Maybe that is also what's holding back AI. I mean, surely they have plenty clever people there, but I would argue the AI should only be trained on good stuff. Like if you, I mean, not only garbage in, garbage out, right? What I said in a previous video already, but also like if you teach a kid only like garbage, it will only learn garbage, right? Like if you teach a kid only hate, you will only earn hate. If you will teach a kid to love you, most likely your kid will also learn to love. And like if you train your AI model on all the garbage that is on the internet, like you will have a garbage AI, right? Like pro tip, like maybe not train your AI model on all the garbage you find on the internet. Maybe train it on like proven training material for human stuff. And also obviously you need to train your AI that it can differentiate, because like, have you seen previous video where cockroaches can live in your body AI things and how to glue stones on your pizza or whatnot? It's like maybe also train your AI to learn to differentiate between garbage and good and bad and ugly and stuff. But just some sorts of someone who might have studied computer science a little bit and is not as hype trained as those companies that urgently need to sell their AI snake oil. Anyways, that's basically for this video. I mostly wanted to point out that AI is also taking silicon die area away for your general purpose and GPU computing, and that is actually a rather dangerous development for open source in terms of driver and frameworks and stuff. And probably, as I said, vote with your wallet, speak up, and let us make sure that there is also an open source future for AI, and it's not becoming the next closed sourced Windows Mac OS like situation where the big AI stuff is only available from big companies and stuff. One last call, what do we have there? NVIDIA has open source CUDA, I don't know about that, but even if they have, it's we want drivers, not like CUDA is not even good. So NVIDIA has not open sourced even their graphic stack. And if there would not have been decades of developers reverse engineering the NVIDIA GPU stuff for at least somewhat usable drivers, they would also have open sourced nothing. And they have not even provided information how to boost frequencies for the open source driver to perform better, adjust frequencies, dynamically adjust frequencies. So they have, NVIDIA is so evil, they have opted to move this to their general firmware processing stuff. There's a GP whatnot stuff, and instead of not giving open source or general public any more knowledge about their GPUs and just hidden it in another firmware layer. So that's a funny, right? For like not overclocking and unlocking features, and yet on the Windows side, even my neighbor allegedly has unlocking stuff, right? So it's like, yeah, NVIDIA, no, we can't tell you. Then you would use the GPU out of spec, and then the Windows users, I have some special NVIDIA Snowflake stuff. I adjust frequency tables anyway. It's like, due. Thank you, NVIDIA. Recurrently, thanks for nothing. Most evil open source unfriendly company I've ever had to deal with. I probably should, like, if we talk about this already, I emailed NVIDIA 15 years ago for a embedded project to support Tegra GPUs. So I've been there, I've done that. I published the email, like a decade later I published the email, already a long time ago. So that was 2008. We as a company, not like some Joe whatnot, like my company officially wrote to NVIDIA, for currently engaging project, we need solid 3D support in our portfolio. We would kindly ask for the possibility to sign an NDA to receive register level spec support, NVIDIA's latest integrated embedded SOCs in our board support offerings. And NVIDIA's like, how's your Windows CE experience? Like, hey NVIDIA, where is Windows CE now? Thanks for nothing. Of course, this German car manufacturer related project was canned because NVIDIA showed us their finger and didn't want to support European automotive grade board support packages for NVIDIA Tegra CPUs in 2008. So much to, we have been there, we have tried that, and NVIDIA showed us the finger. And hey NVIDIA, what are you doing with Windows CE today? Is this still a thing at NVIDIA? Windows CE, that was a good one. I love this joke. At least humor they have or so, they said. Anyway, moving what's used to be drivers, now happening in firmware, new NVIDIA GPUs. It's like, it's probably what I just meant with whatever they call their Jeep, whatever stuff. Today, NVIDIA open source drivers bigger than AI. What else do we have here? One last check. Was in university, we trained data for cell phones and the parameters used it on Solar's data room full model. Accurate to predict the market was couldn't. So training AI with everything on the internet. Hard to determine garbage and garbage out. Industry predict proprietary hardware and code decode. Long-term development, CMOS, have companies scanned all books. Probably they probably use whatever is on the internet, pirate copies, whatnot. You probably find most books on some internet datasets somewhere, and other Google book scan or library access things. Yeah, true. Comment there, books don't guarantee good data. I mean, probably better data than all of Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok combined. But internet is constantly gathering and gaining and losing data. Disks from the beginning, public internet simply. Yeah, I mean, it's true that the internet is constantly changing, but I mean, it is also true that a lot of this early internet stuff is lost because it was just run on someone's Spark station in some corner of some office. All the best information probably. So that's it for this video. Leave in the comments below what you think. AI, the good or bad, and open source driver and software stack situation. And hit on the head. Though you are what you eat, lots of training with bad data will lead to bad AI. Got earnings in a short time. Yeah, and I've seen this, right? Like, so many people complain about completely garbage, like even previous video, right? Like Google prompt engineering and other stuff, and hallucination and other things. So I'm not making that up. That is real. Even users, even fans of ChatGPT and stuff complain that new versions return worse answers and stuff. So it's not like they train more and get better. No, they train more and gets different. And if you train more with all of Twitter and Facebook, then it's like, yeah, cockroaches and stones and glue, I only say. Hope you enjoyed the summary and learned something. Don't forget to subscribe, and hope to see you soon for all the next fun stuff to come.